Hello, I'm Jeremy Gray, and this is the Tom Crean Show. It's been a special year for the Indiana men's basketball program as the Hoosiers are back in the NCAA tournament. Today, we'll talk to Coach Crean about the seniors who helped make that turnaround possible. We'll also have a sit-down conversation with Jade Grossman on the Nick's English Hut hot seat, and we'll profile the student managers who are the backbone of Indiana basketball. Today on the Tom Crean Show. Coach, this has been a special year for the Indiana men's basketball program, major turnaround, and there are a group of guys who are graduating this year who have been key to the turnaround of this program. And let's start going one by one and start off with Verdell Jones.
Well, Verdell is someone that came in here at 162 pounds, probably would have redshirted in most high major conferences, high major teams that he would have gone to, and yet he was asked to carry a serious load for us from the very beginning. And he has grown in this program. The one thing I would say about all of them, they've been extremely well raised. And hats off to their families and parents and the people that have just brought these young guys up the ladder when we get them at 18. And it's been relatively easy to have them in the program. Not easy going through it because of everything we've had to deal with, but to have young men that wanted to get better and worked very hard and would persevere. And I think that's exactly what somebody like Verdell has done. He's gotten stronger. Came in at 162 and got over 200 pounds this past summer. I mean, that just doesn't happen unless you're really, really committed. So he's done an excellent job, and he's going to leave here when it's all said and done, a very high scorer in this program. And he's one of the guys you're most happy for, that we're having a chance to have success, because you know how hard a guy like that has worked to get to it.
And then Tom Pritchard. He, from day one, was a key part of this program, trying to turn it around, and he's contributed mightily here in his senior year.
No question, and I think, again, here's a young guy that came in and was asked to play a role that he wouldn't have been asked to really play anywhere else, and he needed to play it at a high level, so sometimes expectations would get out of whack. Tom Pritchard's one of the more underrated, undervalued guys outside of this program. Inside the program, he's very highly rated, very highly valued because of what he brings defensively. He doesn't make many mistakes. He's improved. There's no question that we'd like him to be more aggressive and more on the attack sometimes offensively, and believe in himself offensively the way that I do, the way that others in the program do. But he's done a lot of really, really good things. And he's one of the best defensive big men in this league, and he has been for some time.
A fierce competitor, and I think an underrated athlete, Daniel Moore.
I think he's a very good athlete. I don't think there's any question about that. I would imagine when Danny was growing up in Carmel, if you had Danny Moore on your team, you won a bunch of games, whether it was soccer, whether it was football, baseball, basketball. He's just got that kind of tenacity and spirit. And here's a guy that was playing major minutes for us from the very beginning, and asked to do so many things in our program. And even though he doesn't get on the court as much, he's still as valuable, does whatever it takes for us to be successful. And some of his greatest values come in practice, and our team sees that. And I think that's one of the reasons he's one of the most revered guys on the team.
A consummate glue guy, Corey Barnett.
Corey is going to be a fantastic coach. He's got a great personality. He's very smart. He gets it. Again, well-raised. Done a fantastic job of being a student here, as they all have, and has improved. And his lot on this team was not a lot of minutes, not a lot of points, things like that, but to be a leader, to be a voice, to be a guy that could really learn to nurture the younger guys on the team, show that strong leadership in the locker room and off the court. And at the same time, we've really pushed him hard to become as good a player as he can possibly be, proud of everything he's brought.
And a guy who's getting his degree, Matt Roth.
Well, Matt's already, he's already well underway in his grad classes. That's a real interesting fact with this team. We've got Tom Pritchard and Matt Roth that are both in grad classes, and they're in their 4th year. So, fantastic student. Probably wouldn't mind me saying this. Started out as one of our poorer students his first semester. Graduated in 3 years with a 3.3 his last semester. Really, really proud of what he's done. Come back from injuries, had played some great roles for this team, and is certainly one of the best shooters, not only in our program, the league, but probably in the country, and has really taken great pride and awareness in getting better defensively.
All right, a remarkable group of young men who have laid the foundation for this basketball program. All right, now it's time for a segment that we call This is Indiana. Bailey Hunsberger, a sophomore at Indiana University, was born with a heart condition called aortic stenosis. Riley surgeons inserted a device called the Berlin heart to assist Bailey's heart. At that time, she was only the third patient at Riley Hospital to have such a surgery. Today, Bailey Hunsberger looks forward, happy and healthy, as she thrives here at Indiana University.
I'm really good. I'm stable, which is always a great word to hear. But I mean, as far as the future, there's not really, I guess I can't say I'm good now until forever, because there's always going to be that possibility of having to go back in for a correction or ultimately needing a transplant. But as right now, I'm as perfect as I can be. I'm limited physically in what I can do. I can't lift weights, can't do strenuous activities, I can't run long distances. I can work out as I feel I can handle, but nothing too strenuous. Keeping up with where I am, I have blood tests every month to check medication levels and a bunch of different enzymes and metabolic stuff, I'm sure. But, and I see the doctor every couple of months.
Despite these physical challenges, Bailey still enjoys her life here at IU.
I really love IU a lot. It's a great school. My classes are incredible. I'm learning so much. It's a great experience for sure. I plan on graduating with a bachelor's in biology, and I'm hoping for a career in forensic science. And yeah, I'd like to continue my work with helping Riley and spreading the word and letting people know what an amazing hospital they are.
Bailey's story of optimism and bravery are an inspiration to Hoosiers and the world alike. I'm Jeremy Gray, and this is Indiana. When we come back, we'll have a conversation with our player guest on the Tom Crean Show. This year, Indiana completed one of the greatest turnarounds in the history of college basketball, and two gentlemen who helped lay the foundation are with me here today. And Corey, is it hard to believe, after what this program has been through these last couple of years, to see it come to fruition like this, beating number 1, number 2, number 5 in the country, Purdue twice, and all teams within the state of Indiana by double-digit points?
I don't know if I'd say it's hard to believe. It's definitely a relief. With the amount of preparation and hard work that we put in, it's good to see it come back full for us, especially as a senior class. And Coach Crean just always recruited the right way and brought in the right kind of players. And I've been blessed just to play with so many just not only great basketball players, but great individuals. And I know that once my time has passed here, that I'll always look back on this team and not only have just the memories, but really good, great friends just because of the great people that he brought in.
Dan, one of the reasons I think Indiana fans have responded so well to you is that we watch you on the court and we see you as one of us, somebody who grew up an IU basketball fan from the state of Indiana. What does it mean to you to finally get to the NCAA tournament?
It's very special. It's always it's a regular thing for IU to make the tournament, and the last couple of years have been a little down and a little weird that IU's not in the tournament. So it's I'm glad that as seniors we finally are going to get a chance to go, and hopefully we can do some damage.
Corey, looking at this team, there's a lot of talent, a lot of great individual parts, but you've seen time and time again on fast breaks, people dishing it off to the open man. This seems to be a really unselfish group.
It really is. From bottom to the top, we've been real unselfish the entire time, from pregame, from drills before the season to now. It's just been all the way through, just guys playing for each other and playing for the name on the front of the jersey, and that's what Indiana is all about. So it's been great to see that.
Daniel, looking at this team, it's been great to see how the young players have come into the fold. You look at Cody Zeller, Victor Oladipo, Will Sheehy. They've done a great job blending in with the older veteran players.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think part of that has to do with the great offseason we had as a team. I know the freshmen got there in June, but we started working the day we got back from spring break, and it's been a process. It hadn't just been since game one. We've been working really hard since April to get to where we're at today. And from top to bottom of our roster, everybody's gotten better.
All right, now we're going to take a look at another gentleman who made it all possible. Assistant Athletic Director Jade Grossman is our guest on the hot seat.
Today on the hot seat, we're talking to Assistant Athletic Director Jade Grossman. To the hot seat, what was your favorite band and song in high school?
Boy, it would have been loud, probably anything Motley Crue, Metallica. I would probably stay with those two. Those were the ones that were wore out.
We know that you have 2 young daughters. Are they big IU fans yet?
Huge IU fans, huge Hoosier fans, huge cheerleader fans. They're into it. They bought in, all in.
Your role is the Assistant Athletic Director for men's basketball. What exactly does that mean?
You know, I'm asked that a lot, and I think I deal with so many different people within the department and university. I kind of like to say that I try to make sure everything off the floor is kind of heading in the right direction. So I just try to work with all the other, you know, people kind of on campus here to make sure that everything is basically all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted.
We hear that you have had the honor of being in a photo shoot. Can you tell us what that is like?
You'd have to go back and have one of the rare Jordan magazines when Brand Jordan first came out, and yeah, I had the honor of. They told me it was going to be for kind of the training program that we were running at the school I was at, but what I quickly learned was basically I fit the outfits, and it was more of a model shoot, and I think we were all surprised at the outcome. But it's pretty cool if you can get your hands on it.
What is on your iPod?
Cartoons. No, basically, once my kids get their hands on it, it's going to be, I had a lot of Hannah Montana, and then a lot of the other stuff is just going to be photos and basically videos of them.
Where do you see the program going in the future?
Well, I think you're starting to see right now, I mean, over the last few months, I think you're starting to see what we have all seen the last couple years. What you're seeing now is kind of the product kind of developing on the floor. And it's gonna keep going that direction. I think it'd be almost impossible for it not to, because one, this state turns out a lot of talent. I think we've done a really good job of kind of getting our hands around the state, and when you have a staff like we have, I think the only outcome is going to be positive.
We got to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get a glimpse of the Senior Day speeches at Assembly Hall. There are a lot of amazing traditions surrounding the Indiana basketball program, but none more special than Senior Day speeches. After the Purdue victory, Corey Barnett delivered a poem for the ages.
As a senior, the wins over Kentucky and Purdue definitely top off the list. What's even better is a national championship banner in Lafayette just doesn't exist.
Then 1,000-point scorer Verdell Jones III took the mic.
I got one blood brother, but these guys right here and the other seniors are my brothers too, man. I mean, after I graduate, I'm gonna be sad every single day because I won't be able to hang out with you guys, man. For real. Even through the tough times, we've had great fun times, whether it's Derek saying something dumb or or this whoever, man. I mean, these are my brothers right here, and I love you guys very, very much, man. Love you very much, man.
Then hard-nosed point guard Daniel Moore spoke to the crowd.
One thing that I really like about road trips is in the bus before the game. We got a lot of people, everybody getting focused, listening to their music before the game. We got Vic singing his R&B flavor of the week. We got Will bumping his head to Yellow Wolf trying to get hyped. We got C-Wop bumping Lil Boosie, and in all the meantime, I'm just trying to keep my headphones and my head down so everybody doesn't know I'm listening to country.
And a power forward, simply known as the Pritch, talked to the fans.
I also want to thank Coach Crean for allowing me to stay here after, I honor my commitment to come to IU because, I mean, it was just the best place for me, and the tradition here is crazy. Thank you.
And finally, the Big Ten's best three-point shooter, Matt Roth, spoke to the Indiana faithful.
and I'm not sure if they're still here, but one of my best friends growing up and his dad who coached me growing up, we're here today. And two of the greatest things I could take from what they gave me in my life so far was my best friend Sean. We kind of figured out somewhere along the way that threes were worth more than twos.
Now let's take a look at what's going on around campus.
I'm standing at Kirkwood Avenue, a great place in Bloomington to eat, shop, and have fun. Welcome to Campus Candy, where Bloomington and its visitors come to satisfy their sweet tooth on the way to Assembly Hall.
Campus Candy got its start here in Bloomington. First store opened in March of 2010. We now have 5 stores and campuses all across the country, but no matter how many stores we open, everyone knows that we started right here at IU in Bloomington.
We're at Finch's, one of the many restaurants to visit while you're on Kirkwood Avenue. What I love about Finch's is they serve food that is locally grown, and this pizza oven was built just specifically for this spot. When we're on Kirkwood Avenue, our favorite stop for Indiana gear is the Indiana Shop. We end our tour of Kirkwood Avenue at the Buzzkirk Chumley Theater, Bloomington's long-standing local landmark. Here you can see local theater productions, movies, and speakers.
When we come back, we'll learn more about the student managers on the Tom Crean Show. Welcome back to the Tom Crean Show. Let's go behind the scenes and learn a little bit more about IU's student managers.
I am Stephanie Clark for the Tom Crean Show, and today we are going to take a behind-the-scenes look at the true sixth man of our Indiana Hoosiers, the basketball managers. Right now, I am standing in the video room with senior manager Aaron Weaver, and he is going to explain a little more about what goes on in this room.
All right, over here we have 10 direct TVs, and then you can see what we have them tuned to right here, and we use those to record every college game, an NBA game, everything that's on the Big Ten Network, the Journey. We DVR we can DVR 2 games at a time here, and then we can also record them on DVD over here. Obviously, with the tournaments coming up, we have all the conference tournaments, all their brackets up on the walls, just so we know exactly when the games are played, what channel they're going to be on, so we don't miss anything. On the Cook Hall court, we have 2 cameras, and so when we practice over here at Cook Hall, we can route the cameras up to the TV, and then from a joystick, we can control where the camera is pointed at, and then we can zoom in and zoom out. And then during practice, there is a TV behind that IU logo, and so the coaches can show the players film as practice is going on if they want to show a specific play or something.
Now we're going to make our way downstairs to the Assembly Hall court where some other managers are getting ready for practice. I'm standing here with another one of our senior managers, Kyle McGee. Behind us, we have some of the other managers setting up for practice today. Kyle, explain to me a little bit about that procedure.
Every day before practice, we have all of our managers come in an hour beforehand, and then we set up water for the players. We set up pads, a rebounding bubble. Then we have hand pads, we have cones we set up that we use in practice as well. We tape the floor, as you see the guys are doing right now. We have pro lanes, the help line, and spots on the court we mark for our offense. Every day in practice, we start off, we rebound at the beginning of practice for all the players. Then also we stat, every shot that is attempted in practice is statted, and we have records of that up in our Excel on the computers. We also play a big part in passing. A lot of drills, we do a lot of drills that involve passing. So instead of putting a player out there, we're there, and there are more shots for the players. Also, some of us get in on the practice squad. We'll learn the other team's offense, run it against our guys.
We need to take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up on The Tom Crean Show. That wraps up this week's show. We'll see you next season on The Tom Crean Show.